Chewing big. I make a good woman steal. I make an old woman blush. I make a young girl squeal. I wanna be yours, pretty baby. Yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey, not bad the bone. Not bad the Now when I walk the streets, kings and queens step aside. Every woman I meet, they all stay satisfied. I wanna be yours, pretty baby. Yours and yours alone. And I'm here to tell you, honey, I'm bad as a
All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back, and I'm back. What you're looking at is a campground that got destroyed in Canada, in Quebec. The top side of that low that was spinning backwards end up into Canada, and all the snow and rain they got. See, they weren't paying attention to the weather, and lots of people got, oh boy. So, and then here we are at New York. New York City, April 30th. Did I tell you guys anything about New York City on April 30th? Did I mention that there probably is going to be some issues there? Did anybody listen? No, that's okay. We got friggin' commercials to interrupt my show. That's fine. We're going to go over to the solar report anyway. So, here we are. Go ahead. Do you see that full halo there? I'll let the loop refresh here a little bit, get adjusted a little bit better. There we go. You can see the date up at the top, I believe. May 2nd, 2023. And we'll let that loop play for a couple of rounds. Let your trained eyes take a little peek at what's going on in there. See that little halo CME there? And then, yeah, you can see what's going on. So we have more activity coming off the sun, more of these objects interacting. Boom, right there. There's something there and another one there, okay? And I really don't feel like going too deep into this one tonight. Let's just say my sciatic is lit up from toe to head to toe, and it creeps up my scapula, goes up into my neck, up into my head for a splitting migraine headache so bad it hits my optic nerve and makes it feel as if my eye has popped out of my head. Yeah, So, I'm going to struggle through this anyway. So there's your solar. Okay. I still got to pull up instruments and stuff because I had other stuff here I'm going to report on. In fact, we're detouring. There's the sun activity. Okay. The other instruments are gonna, show the heartbeat of the sun. Blah 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 blah. But I'm diverting tonight, and we're going to go. Where was the next one? Oh yes. You guys know about Mr. MBB333, I take it, right? Did you see his report today? Let me just play a little tad bit of this for you folks. Right, there we go. Get you all hooked up to the audio. And just play. Oh, wait, I can't yet. I have something else going. That has to leave now. And where are we? This has to. Oh, there we go. I want you to listen to what time this happened, okay?
At 3:23 this morning.
When?
I came downstairs, heard some racket that at 3:23 this morning. Thank you guys now. Back to last night. I woke up at 3:23 this morning. Like I said, I came downstairs, heard some racket that I'm not used to hearing. Normally it is very quiet that early in the morning.
There we go.
This is a video that I took before I did the live stream. I'm just going to share part of it with you. I took 2 separate video clips. I'm standing outside, still half asleep, wondering why these birds are making so much noise. So here we go. I'm going to play a little bit of the video clip from last night at 3:30 in the morning. But before we get started, I want to share with you guys a screen grab I took from my weather app regarding sunrise this morning. First light wasn't supposed to be until 5:11 a.m. Sunrise this morning was at 5:38 a.m. and I took these screen grabs at 3:47 a.m. right when I was getting ready to go out and do the live stream. So this was well before sunrise, and typically birds don't start chirping until they see the sun coming up. And right here I took a photo of the clock as I was going outside. It was 3:32 in the morning. By the time I got outside, turned on my recording device, it was 3:33 in the morning. So
it was
video footage, just a little bit of it from early this morning.
Oh, come on. Play this. There we go.
Sounded like a jungle out there.
At what time for Mr. MBB? What time did Mr. MBB have his... Can you hear what the birds are saying?
The photos you see are of the sky last night. The sky was crystal clear. Stars were everywhere. The date and time you see right here are the metadata from my...
Okay, the date and time. The birds woke him up at 3:23 when he got his slippers on and his t-shirt and went over to the window and opened it up to listen to see what was going on. It was 3:24 in the morning and the birds were going crazy. This same birds going crazy effect happened during that hour-long event of Jesus in the clouds on Easter of 2020. The same birds going crazy event, and there's more. We're going to play more here. Let's see, where does it pick up? Then it also did it the same morning, 300 miles away. How many miles? 300 miles away.
300 miles away from my location at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was still very dark.
Where?
The sun...
In the City of Angels. Here in the City of Angels, the birds went crazy.
It's not coming up yet. In fact, there was not even twilight up yet. But here's the video that was sent in by Julia.
Birds are going crazy here too.
Okay, So, some interesting events there, I would say. Are they confused? No, the birds aren't confused. It's the people that are confused. But we will back out. The birds are actually saying something, and they know. It's the people that don't know. Anyway, so there was that. Then let's come over here to Pastor Paul Bagley. And we're not going to play this. I just want you to take a little peek at the headline. 108 police injured. France on fire. 108 police injured. Okay, come over here, watch that interview with here. This is a good one. I'm not going to play any of it because I want you to go watch it. Then we have this wonderful event that happened here. Oh boy, did this really happen? Because I got to cover.
What if you could do SEO smarter and faster?
What if you could just not have ads ever again? Wouldn't that be awesome? I could have swore that I left TV and went to YouTube's so I didn't have to watch commercials. And yet, here they are making all kinds of money by squeezing 2-3 ads in there. You got to double click to get them off, making all kinds of money off of clicks. Anyway, we have this wonderful, wonderful event that happened. And I did a little video earlier on it. And let's just rehash this one real quick before we drop into more of the solar report here. I just need to cover this part. The Lord wants me to do this, so we do it. And we do it like we mean it. All right, so here comes the audio. It might be a little loud, so adjust your stuff properly, but we are listening to the EVP message that was captured on this gentleman's video camera when he was recording quite an event. That's a different. This is the second event. Okay. So, if you guys know what you're listening to, you just heard an EVP on this gentleman's video. This is not my video. And this is not me whispering in the background or something. I dropped the link to this video. I will drop the link again. You come over to this person's video, okay, and you listen yourself to what I just played, okay? I think it's pretty clear what you heard and what's been going on. It should be clear by now. I've been trying to make it crystal clear for you. Anyways, there's this, and we can X out of all this other junk now, and I can start setting up our solar report. Yes. No, we're keeping that, and we're keeping that for the gem. Okay. Let's start going here. Sorry, you guys will just have to tolerate this for only takes a sec here. I had to do it this way or else everything will jam up and I wouldn't be able to do my intro the way I want to. So we just do it the way we have to now. Okay? What am I doing? Migraine headache. Just bear with me. Okay, you can see the sun's plugging along. Today was, we had those few little objects or whatever, but look, the sun went right back down to the seafloor after it, okay? So these things are still popping off, making the sun react and stay alive, but it's also slowly weakening the sun at the same time, okay? And right now we've left off, we're in good shape right here, mid to low sea range right here, okay? That's good. That's the range I want to see right in there. I don't want to see it drop below the sea floor or below the B floor, okay? Those are not good. That would not be a good indicator. Those valleys that we saw before where the planet is eclipsing the satellite, thank God it was, hopefully it was that, let's just say. We had an M7.1, okay. That was the one right there yesterday, okay. This is today. We're already going into tomorrow, okay. And it looks like we've already had some kind of object pass right here and cause some kind of mid-range, mid-C class flare, as we're, or just a little while ago before I started the show. While we were all watching Marv. Okay, that's saved for the okay. Let's scroll down. Actually, let's pull it over and scroll down and take a peek at this on the way down. Nothing too bad. Okay, our auroras look pretty good. They're nice and weak right now, so we're not taking on a bunch of energy at the very moment. That's good. Let's take her down to the tracker. Open the tracker and do some tracking. Oh, look, it's coming off the backside over here. Do you see this? This little wave while it's frozen up right there. Come on, load up. You know what to do. Anyways, that's good. The CME from that halo CME that we saw, that's what that is. That halo CME that we just saw is heading away from us. So, object that caused it still heading towards us, but when it approached the sun blew off the CME first as it approached, so causing the CME to go that direction. So, yay, dodged another bullet, yet we'll still have the effects of the object as it passes affecting our weather, like I've been showing you. Okay, let's pull out of the tracker. Let's just pull back a little bit here. I want to see the whole page. There's a pretty little image of our M7.1 flare. Let's just zoom in on it a little bit. Scroll, pull. There you go. There's a pretty little picture of your M7.1. Almost, getting closer to X-Class. But I don't think we're going to see many X-Class flares out of the sun anymore because it's so weak. Nemesis went right past it and only caused a 5 point something M flare. So, that used to pop off an X10 when it would pass. And now I don't see the sun having the juice really to react as strong. So, even though any kind of solar flare is still dangerous, especially when our shields are weak. And the more impacts we take, the weaker our shields will get. And pretty soon, if we have no shield, just the regular old solar wind would take us out. We wouldn't even need CME. Okay? But there's pretty little M7.1. We got more sunspots rotating into position. Okay? And this is a dangerous group. There's another group right over here on the side. We'll cover that more as they round the corner and start to get more in range. But right now is the time to start the alert that we have sunspots rotating into the strike zone. Okay, not maybe another day or two until we start getting into the strike zone there. Okay, then we're absorbing stuff, but it's nighttime. It's all over there. I think we're done there. So let's go open up the Schumann. And we'll take a peek at the Schumann and see what has happened with our core today. And ta-da, there we are. Let's pull it, center it, pull it, scoot it, do all that great junk. All right, you guys can see it pretty well. As I described, this is the core and the metal shell rotating inside each other that cause the electromagnetic field around the planet, just like a gyro or a little electric motor. Okay, and the core is spinning in reverse inside the shell, and every once in a while we have these little screeches on the brake. Okay, we had this little screech right here, which is nothing, that's a mouse fart, and we come out of the back of it pretty good. Okay, here's another good strong pulse, but it's really short-lived. It's just a beep, and then it's already off the page. Okay, and oh, that's what I should do right now. Well, I'm thinking about it. So, with the Schumann in mind, I need to give you guys some skyquakes, okay? And let me just pull up the best skyquakes. Okay, just bear with me. I forgot to do this before. Compilation most amazing ones. That one. All right, well, we'll just stick with this one. It's something, we can just pick one out of here is all we have to do. After 10 ads, yeah, hang on. Come on. No, it's not ads. All right.
Stop.
Oh, God, is your
What is it? Where's it coming from? Where? I've never heard out like it. I've never heard out like this before. Sounds like ships, horns.
Hang on.
That's pretty cool.
I got another. Here, let's go right to, like right around here. Right here. That sounds more like the dragon. Here's a good example. Where's that one part, dude?
Stop.
There we go. All right, you hear that sound? You see this? Oops. All right, well, let's see if we can find a better example. That was the weakest compilation. Where's a sound? All right, well, you hear those harmonic vibration tones?
In the sky.
Come on, play some more. Play some more of these sounds. There we go. Okay, so that sound is emanating from the sky, right? That's because the sound of the core and the shell grinding together emanate from the surface of the earth, go out into up into the atmosphere. They bounce off the ionosphere and come back down, projecting these sounds in the sky that sound like the skyquakes. That's what the skyquakes are, is the core and the shell grinding together. You can hear the metal on metal sound. When I could find a better compilation than this, weak-ass. Where's something that's real? I want the trumpet blast. There we go. Yeah, where's the good one? That's the dragon one. Hang on. I want the actual trumpet blast. There we go. That's the core and the shell rubbing on each other. I want you to think of the shell vibrating. It's a metal shell that's vibrating. It's hollow inside, but with a core in there. But the actual shape of the shell is hollow, and it resonates, sounding hollow and metal. That's the core and the shell grinding, emanating off the planet, bouncing off the ionosphere, and coming back down. Okay, so the skyquake mystery solved. Okay, skyquake is no longer a mystery. Skyquake is solved. I solved it. Okay, that's what's going on. I don't know what anybody else is going to try to tell you or whatever, but it's quite simple. It's the core and the shell grinding on each other, emanating from the surface. You don't hear it because it's extra low frequency, but when it bounces off the atmosphere, that it echoes back, and those low frequencies crisscross each other on the way back down. That crisscrossing amplifies the sound to where you can finally hear it. You can't hear it emanating from the ground, but when it bounces off the atmosphere and crisscrosses its way back down, you can sure hear it, and that's what you're hearing. Okay, that's what skyquakes are. Now we have a different form of skyquake. This one, the dragon, is not the same effect. I want you to listen to this one now. Sorry, we got to keep doing back and forth. Maybe I'll just keep the headset off or whatever, but I want you to listen to this one now. Where is it? Back here, sorry. This event. Now listen to the difference in sound. Here's the dragon right here. That's the back with the things coming off of it. And that dragon's saying something too. Okay, so we have two different kinds of skyquakes. Okay, we have the harmonic trumpet blast type, metallic sounding ones, and then we have the spiritual realm ones. And this is the dragon roaring in the sky. It's in the clouds right here. If you could pull back 10 dimensions, you would see it crystal clear. But this vantage point is too close up on it. It's just like those other images I show you in the clouds. The dragon is right there. I can see it, but you guys can't. And this doesn't. I cannot compress this image enough to point it out to you guys. All right. So we just use it for the sound effect. Now, I want you to know that this event took place over Slovakia, okay? Now we're going to go to another event that took place over Slovakia. What was that one called? Oh, Strange sounds over Slovakia. Here we go. Okay, now as we pull here, apocalyptic strange sound in Slovakia. That's the one we were just listening to. This event, not this video, but this event. Okay, you recognize the cloud pattern in the sky. All right, that's the one we just listened to. I want you to listen to this one that happened over Slovakia. You remember this event, guys? This giant face in the sky that growls and spits lightning. You remember this one? Maybe I'll bump up the speed here a little bit and do the we'll listen to the groaning and the growling of this face in the sky, and then you will see it spit lightning. No, this is not Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam does not do this with the clouds. Only God does this with the clouds. Project Bluebeam was a joke. They tried to post little planets up, make you guys think that there's other planets and stuff up there, which is all subliminal prepping for what is really to come. Okay? So this is not Project Bluebeam. They cannot control the clouds like this and make the sky growl and spit lightning. Yeah, I'd like to see them master that one. I'm going to play this just for your amusement. No, it shouldn't be amusing. It should be scary as shit. So, we're going to play this anyway.
Oh my gosh, was that Jewish?
Do you hear the harmonics? Oh, I wanted to catch it right there. Okay? Let's just do a little of this for you. Okay? So you can see right where that lightning bolt is coming from. Right from his mouth. Okay? This is a real event. Give me a focus. Playing games here. Alright, let me pull back a little bit. Alright? You heard the harmonics. You heard what is going on with the focus here. Alright, there we go. You see the lightning coming out of its mouth. Alright, I freeze framed it right on this, the moment it spits lightning, growls, and then those harmonics continue. Okay, these people were recording the sound in the sky. They didn't notice the big face right there. Here's an eye, here's the nose. You can see this white arch over the nose. This is a common theme in these faces, this white arch over the nose, because he's had his nose broken several times. Okay, he has a permanent broken nose, and he's pissed off because he has a permanently broken nose. And you can hear the growling and the grunting. There's what appear to be some kind of crown up here going across the head with a gem right here. in the middle where the third eye would be. So here's the nose, 2 eyes. This face is also bisected down the middle. It's black on one half and white on the other. It doesn't appear so in this image, but I've studied it closely. It's bisected down the middle. It's half black, half white. This is God, okay? This is God screaming and showing the people down below how pissed off he is, all right? Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this is a real event, okay? I showed you other faces and stuff in the sky as well, in the clouds. Expect to see these kind of events now over certain countries, okay? Because I've had enough of this shit. So, I'm giving you a heads up. Expect to see more of this activity. Okay? Now, back to our Schumann. That's what causes the skyquakes, is the core and the shell rubbing together at that boundary area. Okay, I talked about the boundary area a lot. So here we came out of the Schumann pretty well with, it's weak, but it's still going. Okay, so we still have the Schumann pumping out, even though we're going forward in reverse. The core is spinning reverse compared to the surface, which will eventually cause the magma to roil, turbulence in that zone. And then eventually it'll start rotating in the direction of the core and latch onto the underside of the crust. And then the crust will have a huge crustal displacement event as we shift from one direction to the other. Okay? All right, so we covered that. Now let's go on to the next instrument, shall we? Here we are over at the Null School site. This is a very valuable instrument right here. And we're going to put her on the old vortex, polar vortex here. And pull it down and take a peek at what's going up under her dress. Uh-oh. I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl. Let's, what the heck? Okay, so our polar vortex is gone. There's nothing. It's actually, it's turned into this little hump right here. And that's about it. And that's not even a vortex. See, it comes off this inflow, comes up, goes over. This was all spinning backwards a couple of days ago, and now that's done. Probably because our object has passed, okay, and now it's stretching the polar vortex down lower, or just disseminated it pretty much. You can see remnants way out here, way over here, but that's about it. Here and here, so we really don't have a polar vortex right now. It's because this side of the planet has the huge Southern Hemisphere hurricane. Probably not being mentioned on the news, that the whole bottom half of the planet is like one big... This isn't one big storm. This is the polar vortex, though. Let's drop down a little lower here to their polar jet stream down there. You see how wild and crazy it's going down there around that huge polar vortex? Now let's see what it's done to ours. Our missing polar vortex has caused all of our upper jet streams to just go berserk. I mean, look at this. Look at this huge S shape, just bubbles, valleys. Actually, ooh, looks like our... Nah. And here's the West Coast. So it's coming together. We got the hot cocktail, or some kind of cocktail, being mixed out in the Pacific, but then split up. Then we have this huge rotating low over the West Coast. This is producing snow in the Sierras. It's going to flood the valleys again here. Here's the omega effect right here with the other low on the other side over here. This one's stalled out a little bit. This one has kicked so much moisture up from here, up around the backside and down into Canada, or up into Canada, that all of Canada is flooding right now. And it's funny because Trudeau and his policies happen to match some of the other policies of other regions that are getting punished. Anyway, let's go to this little mix right here coming down, and this hot moist air going across the Gulf, kind of mixing here at Florida. So Florida, it's still kind of, we got this new setup here. Okay, so there's that wonderful news, and we will go over to the chemicals here because we have to get this part. I have to pound this into your head until you guys just understand, because this was a big deal when it was 4 little dots a long time ago, and now we have half the country bleeding out here still. Okay, the pressure's back. It subsided a little bit, but it looks like it's kind of returning. Let's go take a look over here, San Francisco, because that spot just brightened up. Okay, there's the bay, the little setting overlay. Here's the North Bay, and right there at the North Bay is our pressure. A lot of SO2 coming out of the ground right there. That's an SO2 emission site right there. Okay, a lot of pressure being pushed to the surface right there, right by San Francisco. Okay, then as we pull back, we're going to come over here to Oahu. Oh dear. Yeah, it darkened and got a little bit bigger, but that's okay. We got these ones still emitting some, so they're little relief valves, but you guys see, I'll just let the picture speak 1,000 words, okay? Here's Oahu, and we have the dark plume there still is a little darker. Everything seems to be a little darker today. I know why, too. Today was a very dark day. Anyways, there is China and all the pressure and all the SO2 that's coming up from the ground there. Okay, they got issues there. You can see who has issues, can't you? And we'll just kind of zoom in. Here's Spain. Here's the Mediterranean right here. Okay, go a little closer here so you guys can get a reference of the mess that Europe is in. Okay. Then go down here. South Africa still has its little spot going on. And we have the entire West Coast, not the entire, but well, pretty much the entire, going from up here in Venezuela. I mean, if we really zoomed in and we just started going down the entire coast right here, okay, these are all independent sites. Each one is an independent site. Lots of SO2 emission sites all the way down the west coast of South America. All right. Look, all the way down. There's still ones here. Still ones here. Here's the very tip. See the very tip? Can you see that little plume coming out of the very tip of South America? Okay, so as I pull back from top to bottom, South America. We also have Mexico. Okay, now let's make you guys really dizzy and spin the world around really fast and zoom in on Java over here, because this island just went purple again, and so did the canal area right in between. Okay, I don't really need to tell you what's going to happen there. Watch for earthquake and volcano activity in this area on this fault line that runs right up in here. Okay, so let's just screw this and go right to the earthquake report now. Come on, pull it up. There we go. I am thankful my computer is cooperating halfway. That was cool that Betsy came to life last night during the live stream. That was a trip, dude. And had the vital thing I needed at the time I was showing. It's. Never mind. Let's open this up, shall we? And get rid of all that so we can have a nice big map to look at. Whoops, wrong direction. To zoom out. Oh dear, look what's going on over here as we speak. We have a red dot, don't we? A 5.1. Seems to be a common theme, huh? 5.1? Mm-hmm. And I bet you that's 5.5. Oh, I was wrong. But 5.5. Okay, so, oh man. You know what? We are going to go to this real quick. The weather forecast loop. I want you guys to watch the loop real quick here while I take a quick break before doing that earthquake report. I just saw something, so I need to have a quick smoke. Please play this for my audience. Yeah, I want you guys to here take note of the date and times and what's going on there. This is the latest GFS run. I'll be right back. Stay right there. We should. Ow. Okay. I'm going to try to make it as quick as I can for you guys because we got a lot still to go. Alright. Wow. I don't even want to look at that either and cover that in a moment. Let's get back to the earthquake report. Hopefully you guys saw what you need to see there. We'll come back to that later. So let's just dive in. Okay. Here we start off with our 5.5 at the Tonga region. This is a shallow quake. This is energy being scrubbed off at the surface at 5.5 range territory. There we go. There we go. Now you guys see a little better, okay? So 5.5 at a 37 is still a shallow quake. That's energy being scrubbed off right there. Remember I told you to watch for it right on the apex points right here? So there we go. There's your 5.1, or 5.5, my bad. Now we come over to here. Please pull this one up. This is the 5.2 shallow quake, another scrub off of energy. Then we have this 4.8 at Vanuatu at a shallow region. We are seeing energy being scrubbed off at the beginning of the system right in here, okay? Here, it'll travel down this way, maybe down to New Zealand. Expect to see maybe a quake here, maybe this focal point right off the coast here of 5 to 5.5 range, okay, down here at New Zealand, okay. Expect to see something like that because we have this energy continuing at 5.5 right there, okay. See that? That's a 119 depth. It's under this island is what it is. And if we go topographically on it, you can see the old water line came up right by here, and it's on that shelf region. Now we go to the new water line here at 4.8 at a depth of 27. That's that weak zone. This is the old weak zone. This is the new weak zone. Okay? Now we'll pull back, come over to our latest new quake. This is currently our latest quake, a 5.1. This energy is traveling down the system and dropping off the quakes, right? So that's at a depth of 117. That's a little deeper. Let's go in tighter on this. I want to see exactly, dear, this volcano right here You see the flanks of it going down underwater? This is right next to, there might be magma moving around down in there as well. Okay. And that's a weak spot in the crust, right? Where a volcano is, right? Because that's a perforation in the crust. So therefore, it dropped off this 5.1 next to the volcano there. That's the scrub off of energy. That's not a, there'd be a quake swarm if it was volcanic. So, and it's off of, off the plate boundary line here. As we pull back, you'll see it's not too far off that plate boundary line. Then as we continue down the boundary line, we come down to this one here, 4.3 at 164. See, that's about a mid-deep quake. Not mid-deep, but 1/3 deep quake, okay? It would have been a 5 range at the surface, right? If we do the math correctly, it probably would have been around a 5 at the surface, okay? So that's our energy being scrubbed off there. Then we come over to this one. This is our 4.3 at a depth of 50. Now let's zoom in topographically. Do you see, here, let's see. See this shelf running along here? It ends here, not ends, but it stops, goes in, and then turns and goes this way and continues on. So it comes out and runs here. There's a little corner, and then another corner, and it struck right in the second corner of 4.3 at a depth of 50. Okay? That's your energy being scrubbed off again up this chain, all right? And it seems to be, if it's a deep quake, it's in the mid-4 range. If it's going to be at the surface, it's going to be a 5. Now, do you see our empty zone here? Okay? Not too tough to figure out. Expect a quake right around here. This is the canal area, right? This is Java, the purple island, under purple. Here's the canal area, all right? So, we haven't seen a quake. We've seen one right next to it, right at this tip of Java. Expect to maybe see something in this area. If not there, it'll come up, and the little shelf zone up here where it likes to scrub off energy here. This area right here, expect maybe 5 to mid-5 range here, or along the side of this island, because we still got this energy working its way up, and it's all barren and naked in there. Now as we come up to these quakes, here's 5.3. So energy has traveled, it looks like, but hasn't dropped off, hasn't released in this zone right here. This zone, see this, this plate is 2 separate plates right here, okay? This one ends right here. This fracture zone ends right there. So we didn't have a quake at this end of the fracture zone yet, have we? Okay, so I'm still expecting a quake along the end of this fracture zone here still. Now, energy is pushed this way, up continentally, up this way, because you got to remember, it comes out in a circle from over here, in all directions. So, come back here. So, it can push laterally, boom, and drop off the 5.3 at a depth of 17, okay? Then we come up here to our new quakes, right off the apex point, or fulcrum point, okay? And we have 4.2, and there's other quakes going on here, so let's go deeper a little bit while we're here. 4.2 at 130, a 4.4 at 219, and a 4.6 at 210. Those are all of those 1/3 depths at the mid-6 level, which would translate at the surface to a 5. Okay, there's our energy being scrubbed off there. All right, now as we pull over, do you see how quiet the rest of the chain is? Okay, the rest of the system. Okay, so it's made it to here. Expect it to continue on up these faults as well, dropping off mid-4 range if it's deep to 5 range at the surface. Ta-da! And there's your earthquake report. Well, no, it's not done yet. We got to come over here, South America, where we have a 5.0, okay? That's your 5 energy. It came straight across. Right up here, we have what? A 5.1. more of that 5 energy being scrubbed off along this tectonic plate. You come up to this plate line right here. Do you see it ends right here? Let me go in tight. See that little end? And there's our quake on the other side of it. Boom. Ooh. Look how naked the Cocos plate is. We might see a 5 to mid 5 range quake right around here. Remember this weak zone right in here along the shoreline, or right along the old. Oh yeah, let's try this again. We're gonna see it probably right along the shoreline, or just inside the shoreline at the old beach. Remember the old weak zone that we see other quakes at right here? So we'll see something either in this area or just off the beach in the old weak zone, as this energy, this 5 energy, is in the area, okay? Possible 5 there. I could see this energy possibly, well, it looks like maybe it already has kind of traveled up the San Andreas. What's going on here? 2.5. Let's see if there's a quake swarm has died. Okay, so the quake swarm has died in that region, which is good. And this is a 3.5 at a depth of 8.9. That's a surface quake, 3.5 energy. Some of this energy is not being released properly along the fault, along the boundary line. It's pushing up into the interior. And see, we got even something down in here in Nevada. This is a 3.3 out at Eureka, and no depth on that one. But you can see how this pressure, look, let me back out, has come up the fault from this area and is pushing upwards, I believe. And look, what's up here? 3.0 in Idaho at a depth of 16. See, these ones look like the pressure came up through the continent this way instead of going over the loop. Look, because there's nothing here. It didn't pass this point. This over at Kamchatka, or Russia, the peninsula, sorry. That's a semi-deep at 149 at a 4.0. So energy got pent up and trapped there. It did not transfer over and come down the system. It came up from the south and is zigzagging up. And look how it's kind of pushing up through the country here. We're getting quakes here in New Mexico at a depth of 3.3. We're getting quakes down here in Texas at a 2.8. We're even getting shit in the center here at Kansas at a 2.5 and pushing. It's almost hard to tell if this is coming down the system and going over the 2.6 at a depth of 18. Okay, so it appears that we do have this upward welling of pressure coming up this way this time instead of over the top. Okay, and I believe that's probably because, see, the pressure's coming up from the south because all this, all this activity going on down here with our southern polar vortex. Okay, I believe there's probably an object that's underneath of us that is really just taking control of this southern vortex, is pulling on the southern part of the planet, causing earthquakes. The pressure is down here, and it's pushing upward, okay? Because there's no pressure up here, right? Oh, that's something I wanted to mention tonight. Tonight when I was cooking dinner, I was trying to boil noodles, and the water wouldn't boil. And now I'm at a high elevation, which we have problems with our water boiling, but not to where it refused to boil. I had to put a lid on the pot to get the water to boil, and that's because of the low pressure that we have in the northern hemisphere. And this low pressure system that is over my part of the country right now, this bad boy right here. Okay, see the low pressure center right there? It has caused such a low pressure that my water will barely boil. So I just had to throw that in there because tonight when I was cooking dinner, I was a little taken back at how long it took. First of all, the water wouldn't boil, and then how long it took the noodles twice the time to cook that it usually does. And I'm a cook. I time everything. Those noodles took twice the amount of time to cook tonight, and the water would barely boil. It would only boil when I put a lid on the pot. So what does that tell you? Okay, so now back over here to this forecast. Yeah, we're done with the earthquakes, I believe. Yeah, we're done. We covered pretty much all of it. Now we have this mess, okay? I don't even know really how to report on this too much anymore because it is getting so volatile. See this huge low? Look at this. Another one of these huge lows that I believe is being, caused by the passage of these objects when they go past Earth. Okay, their magnetic field, their electromagnetic field interacts with ours. We obviously have one. And when they go past the sun and they rip material off, they obviously have one too. So when these objects do pass by the Earth, their electromagnetic field interacts with our electromagnetic field and causes these huge, giant lows to form like this. You see that? That is just not characteristic. Now, something about this low, oh man, I don't even know how to put this. Okay, there's our latest low moving out. That's the one that just wreaked havoc on Canada, New York, Florida, Virginia. Okay, remember Virginia? Virgin? On the 30th, New York got hit on the 30th. Remember I was telling you all about all that great stuff, what, days in advance, because I saw it come off the sun and I knew it was coordinating with these storms. Anyways, let's continue on. And here's these thunderstorm pop-up events. We'll just have to take those as they come. But what I really want to get to is right about here, this low coming in and taking moisture up here into Louisiana, Tennessee, possibly, that whole area. So don't focus on where the yellows and the reds are. Focus on what's going on in this region, because these reds and yellows can shift at any moment. They can pop up back here or in front or north or south, or this computer cannot predict the path of these objects, okay? That's why the weather is so unpredictable. Now, what I want to get to is as this is showing this low moving through, it gets all dissipated and moves on out, okay? Then, where is it? I think it's this one right here. This is going to bring violent storms up into the north now, up into South and North Dakota. Now watch, it goes up into Canada. All right, these violent thunderstorms possible up into Canada. All right, look how this low is winding up and about to punch Canada, okay? This frame right here is 5 p.m. Pacific. This is about 7 p.m. in this area, the end of convection. So at the end of convection on May 12th, this region around here, not just specifically the yellow zone, but this entire region where this low is, should be on high alert. The snow from the backside of that low and all the rain from the backside of that low caused all this damage, this horrific damage here at this campground. And we're going to go into that as the gem tonight, okay? So, people, start paying attention now. People up in Canada too. I report on the the lower 50 because that's where most of my viewers are. But we do have people up here in Canada, fellow Christians that are believers that are up here in Canada that are dying because they're not paying attention, and they're losing valuable property because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. All right. Something else I need to say is when we got big storms like this now, back away from rivers. Go check out your area topographically. Do you have culverts? Do you have little creeks? Do you have any little streams that could suddenly flash flood? Move your equipment and your property away from those culverts, away from streams, away from ditches, away from any possible flash flood runoff. Okay, it's common sense. You got to start being aware, because when this thing comes up into Canada, look at this. You see all this rain, as if their rivers aren't up to the bottom of the bridge and chewing up mobile homes. It is going to add a lot more to it. Boom. All this area. It's just huge, massive storm. I wish we could scroll out of the screen and see the upper part where the icing event, look, do you see the very corner of this icing event? It's probably as wide as my thumb up above this storm, and we can't see right now. But there's hella snow on the backside of it, and that's all up in Canada. So all you people up in Canada, brace for impact. Starting, all right, there it's hitting the northern. Also, people in this region of the northern part of America here, you guys brace for impact as well, because it's not only hitting Canada, it's hitting you too. This frame right here, this is at 11 p.m. at night. This is 2 in the morning. This is deeply, deeply concerning. These pop up. Look at the. I can't look at it, but you guys look at it, okay? I know what's going to happen there, and I'm already feeling sick to my stomach. So, 2 in the morning, May 12th, is going to get very ugly. And that's just the beginning. That's 2 in the morning. Then we go into 7 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, the end of convection continues on into the night, going into the 13th, into the 14th here. I wish we could see this huge icing event that's up in here. You see where my arrow is? You can see it's the tip of it is right here, and I bet you, I know that on the back it's probably about as wide as my finger here. A big icing event coming with snow on top of that, up above that. See this blue band? That blue band is going to go up and around like that, and the pink band is going to be right in the middle like that. This is another monster. This is your prayers, you guys. We got to pray like hell now. Didn't mean to say it that way, but really, this is deeply concerning. And look at this tail streaking all the way back. It is going to wind up and just, it dissipates there. But we need to find out what is coming on May 13th. If we have an event on the sun on May 10th, this storm will intensify. Understand why? If we had an event on the sun 3 days before May 13th, on the 10th, that would arrive 3 days later on the 13th at the time this event is going, that would amplify this event, wouldn't it? So let's pray that on May 10th we have a quiet day on the sun. Can you see why I'm saying this? Now, let's continue on. That monster just... And then residual moisture back behind it, pop-up thunderstorms, anywhere in that area. Any in the green, all the way down here. We will... This is pretty far out. We'll get... As we get closer, we'll check the Cape and the lifted indices and stuff on that event. So, everybody... Just watch your weather. Watch it really closely. Watch it real closely. It could be a sunny day and turn around and do something different. It could be a snowy day and turn around and go sunny. We are volatile. The weather is extremely volatile. Now, is that... Oh, it's a pen. I thought it was the Reaper. That was nice. I wanted to, hang on, pull back here, and now we're going to play this report for educational purposes only with volume this time, so... Oh, wait, not that one. This one. Sorry. Yes, this one. And let me get audio set up for you while this plays. Rinky-dink. Oh, so rinky-dink, but I make it work still. Whoa. Volume. I'm not trying to kill my viewers.
Heavy rains have caused the Gouffre and Meuse rivers to overflow in Bay St. Paul. The damage will be enormous in Bay St. Paul as bridges, roads, a campground and several buildings were destroyed by the flooding of two rivers on Monday in Chalwa. Monday evening, the mayor of Bay St. Paul indicated that around 200 people had to be relocated to emergency centers because of the waters that flooded their homes. At the end of the evening, 1,000 people were still without electricity on the territory of the municipality. In the last 24 hours, about 65 millimeters of rain fell in the Bay St. Paul sector, including between 14 and 15 millimeters in the last 12 hours. Added to this is the melting of the snow.
Nordy 2023. Torrential downpours wreaked havoc on the Big Apple over the weekend, as the nearly non-stop rain flooded city streets and caused the wall of residential building to collapse in the Bronx. About 6 inches of rain fell in the tri-state area, forcing New York City to warn residents living on the ground floors to find higher elevation. Street flooding and ponding were widespread. In the city, it was heaviest in parts of Queens and Brooklyn, with floodwaters reported from the Cross Island Parkway in Whitestone to the Long Island Expressway in Fresh Meadows and Hillside Avenue in Jamaica. City streets and major roadways were backed up, sending helpless drivers and leaving crews to clean up the wreckage Monday morning. The Grand Central Parkway, Cross Island Expressway, and Bell Parkway were among the highways that flooded. The Long Island Expressway also had to be temporarily shut down in both directions in Queens. The FDNY had to prioritize high water rescues for motorists who were caught off guard by the weather. One driver was forced to climb out of his car window before calling for help. The storms also caused power outages in the area, including 10,000 customers who lost power in parts of New Jersey Sunday night.
Okay. So let's go back to our forecast here. Okay, skip a frame. And did I not tell you about that storm going up into New York, right? Oops, it's just playing on its own. We'll just play this loop. Let the loop play. Okay? So now it's time to take this stuff seriously, okay? People's lives are at stake here, all right? It's not a game anymore. It's gotten serious, all right? Why is it whatever? There we go. Oh. So I think now we will go back to some of my writings, okay? As I was telling you, let's just say I've lived a good, hard life. And through my life experiences in institutions and jails and prisons and doctors and churches, and through all of my experiences, I've been journaling, ever since this stuff started happening to me. And you can see in my channel that I've documented video-wise a lot of this stuff. And that's where we're going to go right now. So let's just come on over to my channel. And I'm going to pull up an image and read something to you that I wrote for you guys. And since I don't think I'll ever get to publish my book, I will just share my notes with you guys instead. How's that? Sound good? I was going to become rich off of this book, but it's not about getting rich. The information's more important. So, besides, I'm not monetized. I'm not in it for money, even though I'm flat broke. I have nothing to lose. Okay, I want you guys...
Okay, here I've taken about...
Shut up, Brian. Alright. Here you can see the lion face, right? And then... That's not the segment I want. There it is. The flip book. Alright, we'll let that flip book play there while I read some of my notes. Hang on, I need to take a sip first here. Okay. Trusting me is the alternative to falling into deeper despair or escaping into unreality. When you're in the midst of adversity, it can be hard to think clearly. Yet this is when it's vitally important to make wise decisions. Sometimes it's as if choices are swirling around you, waiting for you to grab onto the right one. However, there is one choice that is always appropriate and always effective: the decision to trust me with all your heart and mind. If you're on the verge of sliding into the depths of despair, stop and declare your trust in me. Whisper it, speak it, shout it. Spend some time thinking about all the reasons you have for being confident in me. Remember and rejoice in my endless, unfailing love for you. If you've been numbing your pain through denial of reality, expressing your trust can bring you into contact with ultimate reality, me. Confide in me, beloved, for I am infinitely knowing. I understand everything about your circumstances, and I will help you. Okay? That's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next stream,